Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a special report. Today's date, September 23, 2022. This is a new YouTube channel for me. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share. Episode 411, Benjamin Fulford, Mike from around the world, Gene Decode, Peter with the ACIO, and some of the things we'll cover is Russia and their mobilization and other things going on inside Ukraine. Donald J. Trump and his status. Germany, a Jubilee. Some of my sources are God in the Bible Patriot subscribers. P Begley's interview with Mike from around the world from last night. Benjamin Fulford on Beforeitsnews this morning. Last night also, Peter the Insider was interviewed by Jessica Ariel, Marrocco, Dr. William Mount, Nancy Drew, Gene Decode, and others. Okay, so Nancy Drew, according to a Patriot subscriber, has been receiving messages from President Trump. We're coming home. And I know Nancy Drew, according to Dr. William Mount, regularly sends out updates and demonstrates that Washington, D.C. has been empty since January of 2021. Washington, the White House, the Supreme Court, the FBI building, the Capitol building, all empty. Okay, now we have some information about, Donald J. Trump. So now we received information recently from Gene Decode, and this is from both Gene Decode and also Benjamin Fulford. Now, Gene Decode had 25 years experience with the Navy nuclear sub engineer, and then in 1992 he had a half hour with face-to-face with God. Gene knows stuff. And I had another Patriot subscriber who had a face-to-face with God in 1986 for 20 minutes. She substantiates a lot of what Gene says, and some information God had given me when I was young substantiates Gene also. Now, Benjamin Fulford, Canadian journalist, who lived in Cuba until he was 3. Then his parents moved him to Canada. Then when he graduated from college, he has lived in Japan for decades, worked for 20 years for Forbes. So Gene and Benjamin, both are good sources. Okay, and they're both saying that Donald J. Trump, there are two of them. The one that looks a little overweight with jowls, and that's the one we saw recently with that golf shoe incident in Washington, D.C., is a double. And that's the one also who came out supporting warp speed for the farmer for the arm. So that wasn't President Trump, and it needs to be clarified. That was a deep state double. Now, a good way to tell the real Donald J. Trump, he looks very healthy and fit, and he's the one you will see with Melania. So what's going on with Donald J. Trump now is that he's coming back. According to Benjamin Fulford, he's going to come back as the president of the U.S. and not as a global leader, because the global stage will be changing, going away. The deep state, IMF, UN, NATO, plus. But President Trump will be returning soon as our president. Now, we had some information from Peter, the Insider. He was interviewed by Jessica Ariel, Marrocco. He's the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Alien Contact Intel Organization, that has contact with the ETs plus. And Dr. Michael Sala recently brought out that Peter works for the NSA. The ACIO is a division of the NSA, the U.S. government. Can we believe that? Absolutely. Now, Peter the Insider says that he's a little nervous because about the state and who's in control of the U.S. nuclear football. And we recall that the U.S. military in January of 2021 would not release it to the JB actor puppet. So the U.S. military has it, and the U.S. military in March of 2021 recognized President Trump as their commander-in-chief once they had finished their investigation of the November 2020 event. So things are coming now and dovetailing, and this is a great time to be alive. So, and now we have this. Okay, so Mike from around the world is regularly on Pastor Paul Begley's Thursday night program. We believe Mike works for the NSA, definitely works for the U.S. government. Mike knows stuff. So, this is what he's saying about that Russia mobilizing, and we heard 300,000. Mike's adding this information. There was a clause, part of this 300,000 mobilization, calling up 1 to 1.5 million more reserves inside Russia. So President Putin has the government authority to go ahead and call up to 1 to 1.5 million more reserves inside Russia. So that's going on. Okay, now inside Europe, and this was new information for me from Benjamin Fulford. He's saying that the deep state is, in the process of cutting oil and gas to both Europe and the U.S., and that Germany, October 1, they already have their special military already prepared for martial law. And it's very likely October 1 will also see military control inside the U.S. And we say, bring it, we're ready. And we know we've been receiving information from various military outlets to the American citizen patriots. Yeah, once the military gets rolling on arresting and taking over corrupt and evil deep state parts of government, we the people just need to stay out of the way of the military and let them do their job. Okay, debt Jubilee. And this is from Benjamin Fulford-G Decode and other sources. Okay, it's going to be global, part of the rollout of Nasara Jassara. Now, Benjamin Fulford is bringing this information out. He says the U.S. dollar is already backed by a basket of real commodities. But the deep state inside the U.S. is continuing to print fiat currency, which is virtually worthless, to prop up the stock market, but it's not being accepted outside the U.S. So we see the deep state is going down because their money situation is going away. Okay. And we have this new information inside Indonesia. Now, I will say this. That was probably a year and a half ago. So we have Indonesia. And they have a lot of little islands, and China. We have Taiwan, we have Japan. Okay, Indonesia. So about a year and a half ago, Benjamin Fulford brought this information out about a Indonesia submarine sinking, and Benjamin Fulford just said, and an Indonesian sub has sunk in this area. And God said to me, look into that. So I did. I got the details on it. And then I think it had 23 souls on board. And yeah, it went down and somewhere in these little islands. And then a few weeks later, Scott McKay came out with this intel he had, that the CCP had come down and they had killed thousands of Indonesians, taking over this island in a setup for them to take over Taiwan and Japan. And that's been in the last year and a half. So now, this is coming out that inside Indonesia there's a civil war, and Benjamin says there are many reports of dead generals and dead police officers being taken out by the white hats. So yeah, that's going on. So we see, in summary, we can look forward to President Trump being back soon. Don't let someone scare you that no one's in control of the U.S. nuclear football. We're in control. Russia does have another clause to call up 1 to 1.5 million, but we have to understand inside Ukraine is like the last major area for the deep state in terms of their biolabs, laundering money, and other things. So it's really a white hat operation. So have a blessed day. I love you, and I'll see you soon.